So John mentioned that I have been an entrepreneur my entire life. Starting at the age of 17, I've paid for everything that I've had. I did start a one-man handyman business while I was in my third year of college and grew that business to employ 1,000 people. It was really the American dream come true. It was showing up on time. It was doing what you said you'd do for people. It was doing a little bit more than what you said you'd do for people. I sold that business in 1999. Nobody lost their job, and they're doing better than ever right now. It allows me to have a full-time unpaid job running for President of the United States. John also mentioned that I climbed Mount Everest with a broken leg. If anybody thinks you can climb Mount Everest with a broken leg, think again. But I did break my leg prior to going to Mount Everest, and I actually left for Nepal with a broken leg, believing that it would heal by the time summit day rolled around, and that did work out. I had never been involved in politics prior to running for governor of New Mexico. A complete outsider. The Republican Party in New Mexico said, hey, I went and I introduced myself to the Republican Party 2 weeks before I announced my candidacy. And what they said was, we like you, we like what you've got to say, we're inclusive, we're going to include you in this process, you can be in all the debates, you can attend all the events, it's an open field, but you just need to know that you will never win. That it is not possible to come from completely outside of politics and be governor in a state that's 2-to-1 Democrat. Well, I did win. And I'd like to think it was based on what I was talking about, which was just common sense, you know? Shouldn't government be about best product, best service at the lowest price, and that less government is better than more government? Well, that was the premise, and I got elected. I distinguished myself as governor of New Mexico in several categories, but probably the one that I'm most proud of, I may have vetoed more legislation than the other 49 governors in the country combined. I vetoed 750 bills while I was governor of New Mexico. I had thousands of line-item vetoes as governor of New Mexico. Only 2 were overturned, so it made a difference when it came to billions of dollars worth of spending. It made a difference when it came to government and laws that, in my opinion, were just going to add time and money to us having to comply with these new laws. And it wasn't going to make us any healthier, it wasn't going to make us any safer. There was nothing about this law that was going to improve anybody's life, and so I vetoed it. And I vetoed it with a veto message. So I am the Libertarian nominee for president. Right now, there are going to be 3 candidates on the ballot in all 50 states. I think this is really important. It's going to be Barack Obama, it's going to be Mitt Romney, and it's going to be me. And I want to make this really clear. I am just a messenger. That if given the opportunity, I think any one of you in this room would do the same thing that I'm doing if given that opportunity. So I understand that. Ron Paul always said that he has been a messenger. Well, when Ron Paul's candidacy comes to an end, and it's going to really officially come to an end here very shortly, who is going to be the voice for this message of liberty and freedom? Well, it's going to be the Libertarian candidate for president. That's who it's going to be. Well, that happens to be me. And I view this role humbly, but I'm not shirking from this role in any way whatsoever. And there's some really... So understand that there are other third-party candidates. But if you take the Green Party, for example, which is going to end up to be like the 4th candidate on the ballot, they're going to be on the ballot in about 30 states, and that's optimistic. So it's important to recognize tonight there are going to be 3 candidates on the ballot in all 50 states. So when I talk about myself and my opponents, I'm going to talk about Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, and there are some really big differences. I'm the only candidate that doesn't want to bomb Iran. the unintended consequences of our military interventions. I am the only candidate that wants to get out of Afghanistan now, bring the troops home. I'm the only candidate that's talking about marriage equality from the standpoint of it being a constitutionally guaranteed right on par with civil rights in the 60s. I'm the only candidate that wants to end the drug wars. Let's legalize marijuana, control it, regulate it, tax it. I am the only candidate that would not have signed the National Defense Authorization Act, allowing you and I to be arrested and detained without being charged. This is why we fought wars. I am the only candidate that would repeal the Patriot Act if given the opportunity. These are big,